Welcome to the Burrow. It's your host, Lala Bunny, head trader at Bimbo Trading Academy. And today's topic is about DeepSeek, the app that they released, and also the wider implications about open source technology. So, there's been a lot of buzz about DeepSeek. So, who? A Chinese artificial intelligence company. What? Released its first free chatbot app when? January 10th, 2025, very recently, last month. What was the impact? Well, by the 27th of January, DeepSeek R1 had surpassed ChatGPT as the most downloaded free app on the iOS App Store for Apple phones in the United States, causing NVIDIA's share price to drop by 18%. Now, this is a part of stock market history because the global sell-off of technology stocks on NASDAQ, prompted by the release of the R1 model, had led to record losses of about $593 billion in the market capitalizations of AI and computer hardware companies. By January 28th, 2025, a total of $1 trillion of value was wiped off American stocks. So if you've heard people talking about DeepSeek, this is the reason. Now, what's ironic about this is that DeepSeek's AI models were developed amid United States sanctions on India and China for NVIDIA chips, which were intended to restrict the ability of these two countries to develop advanced AI systems. Now, what's notable about this is that DeepSeek V3 uses significantly fewer resources compared to its peers. It was trained in around 55 days at a cost of US $5.5 million, which is roughly 1/10 of what United States tech giant Meta spent building its latest AI technology. So to summarize, Chinese developers released an app that is a more efficient AI model, and it was produced with less resources, but it's still a very powerful app. So this is ground shaking to the whole AI industry. And people have been speculating that there is an AI bubble on the stock market. And I feel like this was like a needle that just popped the bubble, sorry. All right, so DeepSeek is open source, and this is good for humanity. And I will break down what open source means. As of Friday, which was January 31st, 2025, which was just last week, Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, made a striking admission that his company has been on the wrong side of history regarding open source AI. So there has been a shift now from proprietary to open source. So now this will be part 2 of the video talking more about what is open source. Most of my information is from Wikipedia, which happens to be an open source platform. And if you notice on Wikimedia Commons, they call it the Commons. It's where you can use like images that are not copyrighted, and they're for free use. And the idea of the commons is versus like private property enclosure. So something that would be the commons would be like a public park because the whole public can use it. It's not private. You won't get arrested for trespassing when you walk on that park. And that concept can apply also to technology. Moving forward. So, proprietary software is software that grants its creator, publisher, or other rights holder legal monopoly by copyright of intellectual property. And this excludes the recipient from freely sharing the software or modifying it. And it's basically like patenting the software and then restricting how the receiver, the person on the other end, the user, what they can do with that software. Like duplicate it. So, what is open source software? In contrast, it is software or other intellectual property that is available for anyone to use, modify, and distribute. And it is developed through collaboration peer review, and it is often free to use. Now, it's not always free because there might be some fees associated with the maintenance of it, but there's not necessarily a profit motive. So, proprietary software actually can be distributed at no cost or free. However, the difference is that whether the proprietary software can be distributed and what the fee would be is at the discretion of the proprietor, which is the creator. With free software, anyone who has a copy can decide whether and how much to charge for a copy or related services. And proprietary software that comes for no cost is called freeware. Now, there's also some proprietary software that's released by the owner at the end of life. So, like, if I created something and then I died, I would put something in place, like in a contract, saying that when I die, you can release this. And it can turn into open source at that time or source available software. And this is often to prevent the software from becoming unsupported and unavailable, which is called abandonware. Because you know how things have like bugs and updates? So if I created something and then I said no one can touch it, then it's just going to kind of die because it's never going to get updated to run with the current systems that we have. So open source is better because it allows other software developers to continue to update and improve if it's an app or a program. Okay, open source is decentralized. Now, let's call this part 3 of the video. I want to highlight I don't even say Apache. It's like the Native American tribe, Apache Software Foundation. One moment. Okay, so this foundation is a nonprofit corporation in the United States. They support a number of open source projects, and it was formed by a group of developers in 1999. As of 2021, it includes approximately 1,000 members. Now, what's great about this? So I am aware of this only because I've always used Open Office. I never used Microsoft Office, Microsoft Word, Excel. Well, I've used them, but I never have paid for them. I've only used them when my college, university, or through a job that I had access to that. But on my personal home laptop, I use Open Office. I love Open Office, and I would love to tell more people about Open Office. The reason why this is important to me is because, Microsoft charges a fee, as far as I know, and some of us don't want to keep giving our hard-earned cash to corporations because the corporations have a lot of power in our society. So if there's a way that we can get the technology without paying, then that's a good thing. So they have a ton of programs, but I just found out that they have something called Open Meetings, which I'm definitely going to try in the future because I really don't like Zoom. And there's also something called OF Biz, which I've never tried because I haven't needed it. But now that I'm starting businesses, I'm going to look into that. But the main one that I use is Open Office, which is an open source office document productivity suite. Now, Open Office was released in 2012. And it's really important that you download it from the official site because there's some scammers and hackers that if you download like the wrong version, they can hack into your information. Now, in 2016, by 2016, there were over 200 million downloads, and it includes a word processor, which is the equivalent of Microsoft Office or Google Docs. And it also has a spreadsheet function called Calc, which is similar to Excel or Google Sheets. It has a presentation feature called Impress, which is similar to PowerPoint or Google Slides. There also is a drawing application, which I've never used, a formula editor, which is called Math, which is similar to Microsoft Equation Editor, which I've never used, and a database management application called Base, which is similar to Microsoft Access, which I haven't used, but I've heard of that before. So I do like Google Drive. Google Drive is free and wonderful, but it is linked to your email and it has storage limitations. So if you want something that's just on your personal laptop that you don't have to link to the internet to use because you might not have internet access all the time, then Open Office is your way to go. Oh, now the number one feature that I love, is that you can export as a PDF so easily. So when I create a document, I just go export as PDF, boom, instant wonderful. And I can do that with a sheet that I'm working on a PowerPoint, just a regular word processing document, and it's awesome. Now, open source as a concept is way bigger than just software. So, Wikipedia is the example I gave before, and that has improved my life immeasurably. This ethos can also be applied to politics. It can also be applied to pharmaceutical companies. It can be applied to the automotive industry. Now, there's a controversy that there are certain cars that now they're designing it that you can only get your car serviced at a mechanic that's licensed to work on that particular car. And I heard that they've done this with tractors as well for farm equipment. And that's messed up because if you bring it to your local mechanic, you might be able to get a good price. If you're forced to bring it to the certified mechanic because they have proprietary knowledge and technology, now they can charge you whatever they want, and you don't have a choice. You can't bring it anywhere else. So they set the rates. That's very anti-competition, very anti-free market. So I know this was happening with Teslas. This was happening with John Deere tractors. And people were like very frustrated with this, that they could only bring their car to certain places. That's pretty messed up. So here at the Borough, we are pro open source. I hope you learned something today. I hope you go ahead and download Open Office and you can use that moving forward. And I'm here for you guys if you have any questions. Guys, ladies, whoever. When I say guys, it's because I'm from Jersey, so guys is kind of a catch-all for y'all. My laptop just turned off. Okay. Thank you for joining and happy trading.